Murfreesboro seems to have hit the most of the storm last night. They caught the brunt of it. We saw half a dozen big trees like this one down around the city. This is Walton Drive and January Street. Ooh, the owner of that silver car is not going to be happy. That Chevrolet right there, part of it was crushed because of trees coming down. It was right there on the street when the damage happened. Just down the road, the storms did some damage to a Murfreesboro motel. News Channel 5's Matthew Torres has been live at the Imperial Inn on Northwest Broad, and that looks like it was really the area that probably was the hardest hit, Matthew.
Yeah, Steve, that's right. Now that we get the sun's out, we get a better understanding of all the damage. Take a look behind me. This is, again, just one giant chunk of the roof that ripped off because of the strong winds left aside here for crews to clean up this morning. Now, as we pan to the left, we see more of the pieces of the roof. As you can see, it crashed right into the balcony of this Bales Bonds company. It's all over the area here. Really, there's also across the parking lot, you can see pieces of the roof also needing to be picked up. Now, as you can see from Sky 5 shot, a better understanding of the roof of the motel. Again, about 30 to 40 motel guests had to be relocated last night. They are now staying at a local church this morning. I spoke to the general manager who says this may take a good month for them to open up once again. There was a shuttle service for all the guests to be relocated. We don't know how much the repairs will cost, but with winds at least 60 miles per hour, the general manager says it was a frantic night.
And all of a sudden we just see like big, swirls of rain, like it was like a, big heavy wind. And all of a sudden we see the roof just flying away, and just water started coming everywhere.
It's also been a difficult situation for Patel and his father, who had to stay in their car this morning because, of course, with the type of damage left behind the storm. Good news, though, that nobody was hurt. We're live in Murfreesboro. I'm Matthew Torres, News Channel 5 HD.
All right, Matthew, thanks for the update. Happening right now, the Murfreesboro Fire Department responding to some damage near where Matthew is reporting live from. This is just across the street over at the Furniture Merchandise Outlet. It was also caused by the storm. Fire crews tell us that so much water was on the rooftop, it actually blew out the windows of the building. The business is likely closed until they can get it all cleaned up. Last night's pop-up thunderstorms also caused a house fire, we think, in Murfreesboro. The crews are telling us that they showed up at 10 o'clock and the flames could be seen coming from the rooftop of the Vintage Grove Parkway home. It appears lightning is to blame. No one was hurt. There's a giant hole in the roof this morning, so the family's staying elsewhere. An Amber Alert has been issued for a Hawkins County child believed to be with a sex offender. The TBI issued this just a little while ago. They say 14-year-old Haley Wilson left her home in Surgeonsville Monday night. She is believed to be with 41-year-old Benjamin Shook. They were last seen in Marion, North Carolina. Shook currently wanted for failing to register as a sex offender. If you have any information or if you've seen these two, contact police and the TBI immediately. A shocking new development in the Vanderbilt rape case. A judge has ruled a mistrial, and in just a short time now, the previously convicted men who were convicted of raping a female student may be headed home. News Channel 5's Cuthbert Langley has been following this case for since the beginning. He is down at the courthouse this morning, and they could be released from jail today. Cuthbert, right?
Yeah, Steve, they very well could be. The timing is unclear, and what they're planning to do is having a bond reinstatement hearing this morning at 9 a.m. Brandon Vandenberg, Corey Beatty, along with their attorneys, will be present for that. The judge could issue a bond, meaning they could be released today or at some point. The timing is unclear. There also could be some special conditions surrounding the release of the two, considering they were already convicted, but we just don't know yet. There are a lot of big questions this morning, but what is known is that a mistrial has been declared, all because of one juror. We're talking about Todd Easter. Late yesterday afternoon, Judge Monty Watkins declared a mistrial in the case, and it centers on Easter, who was the jury foreman and failed to mention he was a victim of statutory rape. The thing is, Easter says he doesn't consider himself to be a victim, but defense attorneys for Vandenberg and Beatty argue there was a bias present, a bias that gave their clients an unfair trial. That's a process our legal representative, or excuse me, our legal analyst says is incredibly important and needs to be respected.
When these prospective jurors are brought into a courtroom, they raise their right hand and they take an oath. And that oath is that they promise that any answers to questions that are asked by attorneys will be truthful to the best of their abilities. That is why we have this process so that we can get a fair and impartial jury for both sides.
That legal analyst also says anytime you get a mistrial, it's an incredibly rare thing. So this trial truly has seen it all. Again, that hearing is at 9 a.m. this morning. There also is a chance that Todd Easter, the jury foreman, could be facing a perjury charge, a felony that could bring in some jail time. So far, his attorneys have not returned calls for comment. Then the DA has not said whether he will file that charge against Todd Easter. So still lots to learn this morning, Steve. We'll carry that hearing here on News Channel 5 Plus beginning at 9. We'll also have it live streaming on our website at newschannel5.com. For now, we're live in downtown Nashville this morning. I'm Cuthbert Langley, News Channel 5 HD.
All right, Cuthbert, thank you. And Vandenberg's former attorney, Fletcher Long, finds out his fate today. Long is being sentenced for felony extortion up in Clarksville on a different case. Back in 2010, investigators say that Long and his partner, Carrie Gassaway, pressured a client for more money, and when she didn't pay up, they had her arrested. They were both found guilty last month. Long tells us one of the jurors has since stepped forward, claiming that she was intimidated into reaching a guilty verdict. Long's attorney is expected to ask for a mistrial today. We do have some breaking news right now. Sky 5 over some damage at the Salvation Army in Murfreesboro. Crews arrived this morning at the Front Street building. They found roof and front glass damage. They believe it's also caused by the storms from overnight. Sky 5 HD over the Salvation Army there in the Murfreesboro area. And again, it just goes to what we said earlier, and Matthew Torres was reporting this. Rutherford County appears to have taken the biggest brunt of the damage from last night's storm. Sky 5 obviously looking for more damage throughout the area this morning. Well, the search continues also now for the gunman back in Nashville who robbed a woman at a YWCA parking lot. It was just before 7 here on Woodmont at the YW. Metro Police tell us the woman walking to her car when an armed guy comes up to her, grabs her purse right off of her shoulder and runs away. If you have any information, call Crime Stoppers at 615-74-CRIME. Hazmat crews spent 9 hours cleaning up a giant gasoline spill over in Dixon yesterday. Crazy way this happened. It appears the tanker truck driver took a wrong turn. So the guy winds up on a small little residential road. He tries to turn the big rig around. That didn't work so well. It overturned right there at the intersection of East Railroad Street and Wade Avenue. What happened? 2,400 gallons of gasoline spilled onto the roadway. Nearby homes had to be evacuated. The cleanup started. It took them a long time, 9 hours to clean it up. It could have been a lot worse, though.
The environmental cleanup crews are going to have to work in and around that gasoline to get everything cleaned up before they can get the truck out of the way. So it's very dangerous.
Fortunately, it does not appear that any of the fuel seeped into the ground or the nearby storm drains. If I'd known that, I'd have run over there with some gas cans, tried to collect some of that stuff.